I started with music from a very early age, I guess. From the age of 4, started playing piano, and then started to, as I got older, play drums, bass, and various other instruments. Got signed while I was at school by a record company at the age of 14, and then just built up a little home studio using a little Fostex 4-track to start with, to write and demo songs that I was working on at the time. And then it just became a bit of an obsessive hobby, I guess. So just built the studio up and got more and more into recording and into the process of production. It was talked about recently at the Record Producers Guild meeting, where there seems to be more students wanting to be record producers than there are policemen or nurses or doctors. I think because I guess it's become the trendy kind of course to do, and certainly for me I must get about 20, 30 emails a month from students wanting to come in and work for free or to just sit in on sessions. And obviously if I was to have everybody in, I'd never get any work done, so it's very difficult to kind of accommodate that amount of people, which is a shame, because in the early days when I'd get maybe 1 or 2 people inquiring, I would allow them in to sit in and come and do some work with me. But the trouble is, because everything's so clogged up now, that there's bound to be talented people out there that are just not going to get a look in because of the amount of people just jumping onto that bandwagon. And certainly the worry is that I'm not sure that a lot of these, the lecturers and people teaching at these courses are really giving the students the reality blow of just how difficult it is to get into the industry, and that's where the Record Producers Guild have picked it up and are quite worried about it, really. Recent projects I've been working on include the Drifters, who've been coming here for the last 3 or 4 years. This is their 2nd album I've produced, and is currently number 14, I believe, this week in the UK album charts, so it's doing really well. And recently co-wrote the last single entitled Do You Dream of Me. What keeps this job fresh for me is working with, there's 2 sides of it. You work with a lot of established artists who have their own sound and have got very set ways of working, which is fine, but then working with new, younger bands who are bringing new sounds in, who are really, up and coming. That's, to me, where all the exciting stuff's happening. I don't usually get fazed by meeting well-known people, but I think the only time I think of when I have been slightly dumbstruck is when I got to work with the Damned, and they walked in the studio, and certainly my childhood hero Captain Sensible, who's their guitarist, walked in. It was quite strange for the first few hours, but then after a couple of days of working with him, it was, still quite bizarre to know my hero's sitting 3 foot away from me recording a guitar track, asking me my opinions on what he's playing. So that was very odd, but very, very enjoyable. The difficulties sometimes of being a producer is that you can't always enjoy music like most people can, where if you hear something live at a concert, my brain's always on alert. If I hear something out of tune or out of time, or something, some inconsistencies, you're always kind of picking things out, so you can't always just relax and just enjoy music for what it is. I think these days you just hope that you keep busy, which I am at the moment, and have kept busy for certainly the last 14 years. I've been extremely busy. I think I've got 6 album projects on the go currently, which most record producers would love to have that amount to work on. And it's just to work with more exciting and fresh bands, really, and working with great people. Who would I love to work with? I guess it would be Michael Jackson.